Bulavinaka, my name is Litia and I'm from the beautiful island of Laos and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Casey, I'm from Tabua. We love Today FM in Tabua. Today FM rocks.
My name is Selina, I'm from Tavenga Vengamba. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Pula, my name is Carlo. I love listening to the music in Today FM, in Malak Island. Today FM rock.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news tonight, PM says no need for Truth and Reconciliation Commission in Fiji. Pramod Chand told to withdraw personal comments. An AG says no ethnicity data in 2017 census.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama says there is no need for a Truth and Reconciliation Commission to reconcile and unite the people of Fiji. Bainimarama says this is because Fijians are more united than at any other point in our history, and this is owed to the unprecedented slate of civil, political and socio-economic rights enshrined in the 2013 Constitution. Ritika Pratap reports.
For those who don't know, this Constitution, our Constitution.
Responding to the question asked by opposition MP William Ngavoka, the Prime Minister said every Fijian knows that under the Constitution, their vote and voice matters the same, regardless of their ethnicity, religion, gender, physical ability or where they live.
In the very preamble to the Fijian Constitution, Madam Speaker, it states clearly that we are all Fijians united by common and equal citizenry. Because of our Constitution, for the first time in our history, we are all equal in the eyes of the law and united in common purpose.
Bainimarama says he sees the issue of truth raised by the opposition as great irony as they themselves are blind to the history of our country.
They ask about truth and reconciliation while they themselves live in denial of the truth.
A supplementary question was posed by opposition MP Niko Nawaikola as to what alternative the Prime Minister has to stop any future coup.
Madam Speaker, if there was, for example, an investigation into the 2000, somebody like him would be brought to the fore for taking money into George Page's camp.
Another question was raised by opposition MP Semesa Karavaki.
Can the Honourable Prime Minister tell this House the truth of what the government will do to those that were unjustly tortured and killed in 2000 and also those that were unjustly terminated from their work?
Madam Speaker, if the Honourable Member can come up with a list of names of those that were removed from their employment, maybe I can let him know.
The Prime Minister stressed it is his personal mission to ensure that Fiji never slips back into the past, which has caused immense harm. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
Opposition member Pramod Chand was told twice by the Speaker of Parliament, Dr. Chico Luveni, to withdraw his personal comments against the Education Minister Ayaz Said Qayyum. This is after the question on the progress of rehabilitation work of schools that were affected by Cyclone Winston was asked by the opposition side. Savada Tambor reports.
The supplementary question raised by opposition MP Pramod Chand on whether the full recovery and rehabilitation of schools destroyed by Winston would be systematically addressed in the next proposed budget created heat in Parliament today. The Minister for Education responded that he does not understand Chand's question, to which Chand made a personal comment.
I thought you were very smart.
Madam Speaker, the Honourable Member forgets that as a human being, we need to be able to have humility, which he lacks. So when I don't understand anything, it's not an indication of my intellect or lack of or smartness. It's trying to clarify the question. So he needs to really refrain from making these kind of personalized comments.
Speaker of Parliament Dr. Chico Luveni intervened and told Chand to withdraw his comment.
Would you like to withdraw that particular statement? Members of the House must not refer to...
Yes, I withdraw that if that is offensive to him. Thank you.
Education Minister Ayaz Said Qayyum confirmed that 3 schools in Koro Island, which are Tuatua Primary, Ngaliwakambawe and Koro High School, have been adopted by ACAP under the Australian Education Scheme. However, for Kande District School, someone had agreed to adopt it, but it did not turn up with the funds. Therefore, the government has now called for other tenders. Sabira Tambua, FBC News.
The Attorney General and Minister for Economy Ayaz Said Qayyum has told Parliament that the 2017 census did not collect data on the ethnicity of the population. The AG was responding to an oral question from the Leader of Opposition, Rote Mumukepa, on why the Bureau of Statistics had not released the data on the ethnic breakdown of the population that could impact health, education and social welfare. Maggie Boyle reports.
How many people are below the... It was an impassioned exchange between the AG and members of the opposition on why the Bureau of Statistics had not released data on ethnicity in the 2017 census.
You have collected data talking about ethnicity, differences in health or specific aspects of health about a particular community. It's not talking about racism.
Why are you collecting the data? Madam Speaker, don't collect the data. No such data was collected. He needs to understand that. There has been no aggregation of data based on ethnicity under the 2017 census. None whatsoever. So they need to move away from that. They think we are hiding it. We are not hiding it. There's been no collation of data. Madam Speaker, there's been no collation of data. How can you release it?
The poverty levels in the country, that's why I asked that question, Madam Speaker. So how are community leaders expected without the correct data expected to put these interventions in place?
Unfortunately, the opposition aren't able to extricate themselves from that way of thinking. Community decisions are made based on the needs. For example, the people living in the maritime areas. We know people living in the maritime areas have certain challenges. Do we need an ethnic breakdown to understand the challenges faced by the people in the maritime areas?
I know for a fact the British Isles, the UK, does it. So one of the leading democracies in the world is collating statistics on ethnicity. Why is Fiji so hung up on these things?
There's a world of difference between the British Isles, the United Kingdom, and Fiji. They were the colonizers, we were the colonized.
In January, the government statistician Ipele Wangavonavona noted that while data on ethnicity was collected during the counting process, they were awaiting instructions to release it. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
Concerns have been raised by 3 Fijians in Lambasa after National Federation MP Pramod Chand allegedly made negative and threatening comments about the government. An interview conducted by the Fiji Sun and video obtained by FBC News shows the 3 share what Chand said during a gathering in the north. Sainyani Boila has more.
The 3 speaking to the Fiji Sun claimed Pramod Chand was bent on destroying the integrity of the ruling Fiji First government. Subhas Chand, Hemant Prasad and Sunit Devi claimed religious vilification, false warnings and wrong information was part of the meeting. This was said to be at such an extent that the NFP MP threatened the Indo-Fiji community about being kicked out of Fiji.
He said if this government wins again, there could be a coup and you could be kicked out of this country.
During the same campaign, Pramod Chand allegedly said that Fiji had taken a lot of money from Iran and Iraq and that Fiji will be taken over by those countries and will become a Muslim state. Chand also allegedly mentioned that people of Indian origin who are not Muslims and South Indians will have to jump in the sea.
Taken a lot of loan, this country can one day be taken over by Muslims. He said that the road they are tar sealing and punching, they're taking thousands of dollars for only that.
He said you people do not know anything. We know how much loan there is that has been taken.
He said Muslims and South Indians will take over the country.
We approached Pramod Chand outside Parliament today for a comment, but he refused, saying he will only speak at a press conference on Friday. Police Commissioner Brigadier General Sithiben Gilio told Fiji Sun that people can lodge complaints about politicians if they feel that laws are being broken. Sainiani Mboila, FBC News.
The Electoral Commission has awarded the vacant seat in Parliament to Mayor Samisoni following the unavailability of Ratuchone Kumbombola. This was confirmed by the Commission Chair, Suresh Chandra. The seat was vacated after the passing of the late opposition MP Ratusela Nanovo. Samisoni secured 1,855 votes in the 2014 general election. Meanwhile, Parliament will be closed tomorrow for the chamber to be fumigated and will resume on Wednesday. Still to come, 50,000 marijuana plants uprooted in 2017. And expect more rain in the next couple of days. Stay with us.
Bula, kera mai singatoka, kera ndo tali taka na varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kung minasong butikola, ndo tali taka na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Kaya kuyaga sila tali, naguraramay na umanyi, nandunga. Gitu tali taki yang gitu pinasabali, nagundurong varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti na ponga ni BNN.
Tropical disturbance 09F is expected to intensify in the next 48 hours, bringing more rain and strong winds. Director Meteorology Ravin Kumar told FBC News that a heavy rain warning remains in force for the country and the public needs to take necessary actions and be more vigilant. Tropical disturbance 09F was located to the northwest of the country at midday today, about 500 kilometers west-northwest of Nandi, and is expected to move southwestwards.
The heavy rain band is still over the oceans. They are yet to be coming much more on the land side. However, we can see that the portions of Vanuatu is getting fair share of heavy rain from last couple of days. Again, especially for the northwestern Viti Levu, they are also getting the heavy rains from time to time, and we expect that to continue today and tomorrow.
$9.3 billion is needed by Fiji in the next 10 years to be on par with climatic changes that impact our economy. Attorney General Ayers Said Kayum revealed this while responding to a question from Government MP Matayasi Mataiwalu about actions needed to be taken after the results for climate vulnerability assessment were released in Bonn during COP23. Catherine Krishna reports.
Attorney General Ayers Said Kayum says there are enormous financial implications, and to build resilience in infrastructure and resilience amongst Fijians, the right technology needs to be used.
In this climate vulnerability assessment, there's also innovative analysis and methodologies. For example, it investigates the impact of climate disasters on poverty and inequality, so that the Fijian government can make risk management decisions that are informed by poverty impacts and not just based on aggregate costs.
Opposition Member of Parliament Biman Prasad also asked Attorney General to reveal whether Fiji has already received funding from the Green Climate Fund or not.
The Green Climate Fund has actually given us a grant of about $32 million. We're the first country to actually get that $32 million US. There are other projects, of course, Madam Speaker, that we have to be able to identify and, of course, put our submissions in to the Green Climate Fund.
Syed Kayum says the funding received for water management will involve $300 to $400 million for water projects in Suvarnasori Corridor. Catherine Krishna, FBC News.
A total of 50,000 marijuana plants were uprooted in Fiji last year. Minister for Defence Inoke Kumbombola revealed this in Parliament today and says that during the Ndorvata community policing in 2017, there were 727 drug arrests.
The effectiveness of the Ndorvata community policing is also reflected in 2017 crime statistics report, which indicate a major reduction in the following categories: reduction of overall crime by 9%, reduction of serious crime by 3%, reduction of crimes against women by 14%, and reduction of crimes against children by 12%.
An anomaly in the Fiji Electricity Authority's internal system has led to its customers being informed of an additional fee in relation to their security deposits. FEA Chief Executive Hasmukh Patel says they are now contacting customers and advising them to disregard the letter. Kelly Vadala reports.
47,000 FEA customers around the country received letters last month in regard to a fee in the security deposit, but this was mistakenly sent out.
It was an anomaly, and we sincerely apologize for that. And what we have done is, out of that 47,000 customers, we have contacts, mobile phone numbers of some 20,000 of those customers, and we have already sent them a text message saying them and advising them to disregard that letter.
FEA Board Chair Dakshesh Patel says it's unfortunate that this issue is now being politicized on social media.
The politicians are all over the social media politicizing the issue. It is unfortunate. FEA is a very reputable organization. Some of the members who are active in the social media are casting aspersion on the good intent of FEA.
Meanwhile, the FEA adds that they will not be looking at any adjustments to current FEA security deposits. Kelly Badala, FBC News.
In sports coming up ahead, Fiji Warriors ready to face Samoa A in the Pacific Challenge Cup, but time to welcome Kelly Badala with the latest in business.
Thanks, Jackie. Good evening. Coming up in business tonight. Fiji Airways and Alaska Airlines expands current partnership. And in growing Fiji, Transinsular Road in Savu-Savu now completed. Stay with us.
Moala radada ranadika, au tikongona taunu singatoka, andou talitaka na wakaronga ng Bula FM, number 2 na sere.
We adora subuni kurnambili, ibora ni batukara hambara binaranga, do talitakina na wakaronga ng Bula FM, number 2 na sere. Bula!
Bula FM, number 2 na sere.
Leading business tonight, Fiji Airways and Alaska Airlines have expanded their current partnership by signing a code-share agreement on flights from San Francisco to 2 popular U.S. cities. The agreement enables Fiji Airways to place its FJ code on Alaska Airline flights from San Francisco to Seattle and Portland. This offers Fiji Airways guests direct connections to these cities via San Francisco and vice versa from Alaska Airline guests. The code-share flights have gone on sale from today. Both airlines have an existing frequent flyer partnership where members of Alaska Airlines' mileage plan program earn and redeem miles for travel on FJ flight numbers. Rocco joins us with the latest from the money markets.
Thank you. Let's review the action on the South Pacific Stock Exchange last week. 8 stocks were traded on the platform. Looking at the share price movements, Freebird Institute shares increased by 9.09% to end the week at a new all-time high price of $3. Kinetic Growth Fund Limited shares rose by 8.62% to close the week at $0.63. RB Patel Group shares increased by 0.46% to end the week at $4.36. And VB Holdings Limited shares had a growth of 13.33% and ended the week at a maximum price of $5.10. Following the share price movements, the overall market capitalization concluded at $1.99 billion, and that's an increase of 0.13%. And that's the wrap from our local stock market, Vinaka.
Thanks, Rocco. Looking at today's currency exchange rate set this morning for the Fijian dollar, there were only minor changes in the currencies we cover. The Fiji dollar rose against the US dollar, the Kiwi dollar, and the PNG Kina. Taking a look at the commodities market, oil prices rose slightly to $61.65 a barrel. Gold was up about $10 at $1,326.13 per ounce, and silver closed up at $16.60 an ounce. Major rehabilitation work on deteriorated sections of Transinsular Road in Savu-Savu is now completed. Fulton Hogan Highway's construction manager Scott Wilkinson said sections of this road needed P1 structural repairs. This is when the road falls and is posing a risk to road users. Wilkinson said motorists will now have a smooth and enjoyable ride, but more importantly, it will be safer than before. The crews, each made up of 16 men, have removed the deteriorated material from the road and stabilized both the sides with cement. They have also removed the shoulders on the side of the road to allow the flow of water away from the road. The road has been affected by years of normal wear and tear and also overloading. That's business this evening. Here's Jamie now with sports.
Thanks, Kelly, and good evening. In sports tonight,
Fiji finishes third in Las Vegas. And cricket, Fiji could host more international events. This and more coming up.
मैं प्रेमिला वायरुकू रेकी रेकी से सुबह मेरी आँख खुलती है तो मैं मिर्ची एफएम सुनती हूँ। मिर्ची एफएम इज नंबर 1। इट्स सो हॉट।
हम लोग बार टाउन के कैरियर ड्राइवर लोगों ने हम लोग के मिर्ची एफएम सुनो अच्छा लगे। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट।
हाय, मैं संध्या नारिया रेकी से मेरे सारे दोस्त मिर्ची एफएम सुनते हैं। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट। आई लव मिर्ची एफएम।
हमें स्पिन तो हुआ कि मिर्ची एफएम में सबसे अच्छा गाना बजे।
मिर्ची एफएम इट्स हॉट।
The Fiji sevens side had to settle for third place at the Las Vegas tournament after losing 19 points to 7 to USA in the Cup semi-final. The side went on to defeat South Africa 26 points to 22 in the bronze medal playoff. Vasnil Prasad has more.
It was a repeat of last month's Hamilton Sevens final, but this time Fiji faced South Africa in the third place playoff in the Las Vegas tournament. Our national team started on a high note with captain Jerry Tuai scoring first try of the game.
Oh, little stutter step on the outside. Jerry Tuai is back in Vegas.
Minutes later, Ruan Neal equalized for South Africa.
He's got support if he needs it. Now going the distance.
The Blitzboki were down to 6 men and Fiji took advantage as Paula Dranisinikula scored Fiji's second try.
Ball in one hand, gets the beautiful offload, it's still there. Here come Fiji. The ankle tap, the ball still available. Following up beautifully. Dranisinikula, it's going to get over.
Robust forward Sevuloni Modenadangi was sin-binned after making a dangerous tackle on a South African player. But of a class were the Fijians, and Tuai managed to dive over for his 87th try of his sevens career.
With Tuai again. Tuai for the line. He's over.
Fiji led 19-5 at the halftime mark. South Africa was fired up in the second spell and they ran in 2 quick tries to close the gap 19-15.
Jones it back on the inside to Nell, gets the big handshake and he's over.
However, Alessio Nanduva scored the final try for the Fijians in a mouth-watering battle.
Support running, it's Fiji. Nanduva, it's going to get over. Stretching the leg.
Fiji beat South Africa 26-20 and are now set to regroup for their next stop in Canada this weekend. Vasnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
Meanwhile, the national side were earlier bundled out of the Cup semi-final by USA, the host beating Fiji 19 points to 7.
Drop off there for Nanduva. Mothanathangi says, I'll do it all myself, and Fiji strike first. Perry Baker goes back in field. Is he going to take it 100? Baker, oh, this is just unbelievable. He is the business. Now gets it away. Liuta, he gets through. Liuta is in. Fielder comes from Europe. Back to Baker. Is there anything this man can't do?
And the USA went on to win its first title at home, thumping Argentina 28 points to 0. Danny Barrett scored 2 tries, while speedster Perry Baker and Carla Niles got a try each.
Time for the support runners to get around. Newer, Yosefo, revolving the spot to make the stop shot. Over the top it comes for Baker. Baker! Baker, believe the hype. Still going now. Argentina release Pinkelman. It's away for Barrett. Barrett finds Baker. Baker spins out of the line, gets past another. Baker's still going, spins past another, keeps it alive for Barrett. Oh yeah, that's how you do, Mr. Boom Boom. Danny Barrett slams it down. Quick ball in turn comes for the USA. Yosefo gets it away for Danny Barrett. Danny Barrett squares off against Raval, and it's Danny Barrett who wins the race. Lovely counter-rucking from the Americans. Baker Here he is. Isles gets a touch. This time he gets on the outside. Isles burns him. He hits the turbo button. Forget the chase.
Absolutely incredible. So many emotions going through my head right now, singing that national anthem with everyone. It was absolutely just such a moving moment, and then being able to come out and perform the way we did and stick to our plan, it's surreal.
The Fiji Sevens side remains third on the World Series table with 79. The national side has closed the gap to 3 points behind New Zealand at second with 82 points. World Series title holder South Africa still leads with 92 points after 5 tournaments. Argentina is in fifth with 67, while the USA climbs a place up to sixth with 58 points. The national seven side has a chance to set the record straight with Kenya when they meet in the pool stage again in Vancouver this weekend. After being defeated 17-14 in its final pool match in Vegas, Fiji is set to face Kenya again on Sunday after being drawn in Pool C for the Canada Sevens along with Spain and France. USA leads Pool A with Australia, Canada and Uruguay, while Argentina is grouped with England, Wales and Samoa in Pool B. South Africa is in Pool D with New Zealand, Scotland and Russia. Flying Fijian Pideliato scored the opening try for Clermont in their 21-17 win over La Rochelle in top 14 rugby this morning. The win pushes Clermont from 12th to 10th in the T14 standings, but came at a price for Yato. The Fiji Warriors under-23 side believes it's ready to defend its title in the World Rugby Pacific Challenge, which officially starts this week. Head coach Senirusi Sirwakula says despite the new format of the competition, he's confident his team can deliver. Luciana Tangedakemba reports.
Under the new format, the young Fiji Warriors side will use the revamped tournament as learning experience.
Only 5 are over 23. So these players, a lot of them are new to the system, so we have to take them slow, step by one step at a time. Head coach
Senirusi Sirwakula says with the inclusion of overseas-based players, the side will definitely compete at high-level competition.
Put in a lot of experience into the team, and also a lot of these boys, they look up to them.
Captain Moses Sevoka says they have adhered to the coach's feedback and are ready for game day.
Getting feedback a lot from the coach and been telling us everything, or like set faces and all the faces we've been doing on the games, and we're really looking forward so that the boys could understand and blend well.
The Fiji Warriors will meet Samoa A in its first match in the Pacific Rugby Challenge Cup on Friday at 5 p.m. at Suva's ANZ Stadium. Luciana Tangedakimbao, FBC Sports.
Tickets for the Super Rugby match between the Highlanders and Chiefs at Suva's ANZ Stadium on June 30th are now on sale. Compared to previous years, the Chiefs played as a hosting side, but the Highlanders have taken over the responsibility. Meanwhile, Fiji Sports Council Chief Executive Lichana Lombuka says as they trial some new things at this year's event, they hope to make it more successful.
Just to confirm that the tickets at this year's Super Rugby, we still have platinum and we have gold. We have concrete tickets, we've got grass tickets. So this year, for the first time, we have a red zone section which will allow members of the public over the age of 18 to go up to the grandstand, and they can take their drinks with them. So we'll see how this all works out.
The Fiji Football Association is aware of the alleged abuse of a match official following the Vodafone Premier League match between Lambasa and Ba over the weekend. It is believed the incident occurred after Ba's goalkeeper Josiah Ratu got into an argument with a match official following their 2-1 loss to Lambasa on Saturday. FA Chief Executive Mohammed Yusuf says they are aware of the incident and are waiting for the referee's report before taking further action.
But if any assault or abuse or manhandling of the match officials, then that case will refer to the disciplinary committee for a decision.
The International Cricket Council has eyed Fiji as a potential venue for World Championship matches. The ICC East Asia Pacific Development Manager says Fiji's chances of hosting world-recognized tournaments will depend on how Cricket Fiji organizes the sub-regional T20 qualifier in August. Eroni Tuinuku reports.
hosting an international tournament will not be a new thing for Cricket Fiji.
There's a really long, proud history of cricket in Fiji that goes back a long way, and there's been big teams come and play here like the West Indies in the past, and as ICC we really firmly believe that can happen again, and this tournament is one way to support that, both from a promotional point of view but also as a platform around infrastructure development, for example.
Compared to the previous years, Cricket Fiji has lifted their standard to get international recognition.
Oh look, I think all the infrastructure's here to host already. We're very happy with the facilities at Albert Park. That's an amazing redevelopment that's happened there, and it'll be a beautiful place to play cricket.
Meanwhile, Cricket Fiji Goodwill Ambassador Ajay Bhai Amrit says their aim is to expose the sport and develop its players to be the best.
I'd like to thank especially the ICC. I'd like to thank Jane. She's taken out time to come all the way to Fiji, and she will be coming to the tournament and keeping an eye on how it's running. Also to our very hard-working chairman, our CEO, and our tournament director. Small team, but they work very, very hard. And as you know, it's a minority sport, but we will grow. We will grow this sport.
The qualifier that will be held at the Albert Park from the 25th to the 30th of August. Eroni Tuinuku, FBC Sports.
Today's play of the day comes from the Las Vegas Sevens, where Spain's Pablo Fontes stole the show in the 9th place playoff semi-final against Russia this morning. Fontes took a quick line-out throw to himself before running 50 meters, followed by an offload to Jacobo Martin, who scored a try in the 19-12 win. Here it is.
Goal line, and they look for territory as opposed to holding on to possession. Fontes, quick throws to himself. Defense of Lazarenko takes him on, and now Fontes, just a sweep and a beat. Ball on the inside, Spain go back to back. Beautiful, Jacobo Martin scores. And here it is, look, take a quick throw to yourself. You can do it as long as it goes 5 meters. Wonderful play. Midfield running, finished beautifully. Showing their class, Spain.
That's it from Sports Tonight. Angie joins you later on with weather and in new media. A look at what Snapchat may be releasing later this year. That's coming up.
Bula, kera mai singatoka, kera ndo talita kana varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and the moi viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kombinasyon ko lang ndo talita kana Radio Fiji 1 kina ndo moi viti.
Kaya kuyazo sila tale, nagurara may naomani, nandunga. Gitu talita kini ang gitu pinasabale, nagunto rongo, varorong na Radio Fiji 1 nando moi viti.
Na Radio Fiji 1 nando moi viti na ponga ni BNN.
Media tonight, does the world want more camera eyewear? Snapchat reportedly will launch Spectacles 2.0 this fall, with a third version next year that could incorporate new effects with dual cameras. It's weather time now with Angie.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. It's a brand new week and weather is quite rainy for many areas of the nation. A heavy rain warning remains intact for Fiji, so do keep safe and keep the little ones safe. In the west for today, showers mostly dominated the area and there's more call for showers by later tonight. Eastwards from Peck Harbour to Suva, more rainy spells were around, taking away all that mugginess. And up north, this side also experienced showers and most likely could expect more. At sea, northerly winds gusting up to 40 knots with very rough seas, so please do not go out fishing tonight. For the tides, low tide will be at 9:24 p.m. with high tide at 3:35 a.m. Sunrise will be at 6:06. For tomorrow, more wet spells are likely, so again, don't forget to pack your umbrellas. Tomorrow's temps, all the centers will be in the higher 20s. And looking further on to Wednesday, showers are likely to pass by, giving us milder and cooler conditions. And that's all from the FBC Weather World. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. In Fiji and Pulse tonight, we asked, how do you rate Fiji's performance at the Las Vegas Sevens?
It's a learning point because we are going towards the World Cup in the Rugby Sevens now.
It's not that bad. I'm happy with whatever they performed so far. We still have time to improve ourselves, our game.
Even if they didn't make it to the final, they still need to work hard as a team now for the World Cup. I think their poor defense against USA cost them the game. Also, coach should replace Nasilasila with someone else.
In the world of the weird and the wonderful, more people in Columbus, Ohio are now surviving when their hearts suddenly develop an abnormal beat and stop beating altogether. Their survival is due to a new procedure developed after the hospital partnered with a local fire department. Recapping the main stories, PM says no need for Truth and Reconciliation Commission in Fiji. Pramod Chand told to withdraw personal comments. An AG says no ethnicity data in 2017 census. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question, the results from last week, we asked, should buses continue to carry disposable e-cards? 69% said yes. This week we are asking, should an international standard facility be built in Fiji to host big sporting events? Visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, our shot of the day, a beautiful sunset sent by Anasa Servatu. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was your FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, stay safe. Good night.
Wrong on the radio Fiji 1 and the Moi Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kombinasyon ko lang untuk tali tak na radio Fiji 1 kena the Moi Viti.
Kaya ko yazo sila tali. Nagurara may naomani nandunga. Gitu tali tadi yang gitu Venezuela pun nangguntur rongo. Barong na radio Fiji 1 nandu Moi Viti.
Na radio Fiji 1 nandu Moi Viti na bonga ni BNN.